I'm going to start with this. Do you know what this is? You got it, right? Chocolate. It's a fantastic thing. You do realize that they even proved a couple of weeks ago that it is good for us. You know, the sugar and the fat, that's a bit of a problem. But, you know, take the sugar out, and even people like me can enjoy chocolate. It's fantastic. It has got something to do with the serotonin in our brain. So basically, if you find yourself eating a lot of this thing, look into your life, look into how you feel, because you might be fighting depression. And depression is a very serious condition. So you need something more than chocolate. But chocolate is good for you. Chocolate is a friend. Are you Harry Potter fans? Because if you are Harry Potter fans, you see something different here. You see something more. Hands up. Any Harry Potter readers? Any one of you ever read Harry Potter? Do you know what it is? Right? Chocolate is magic. Magic is magic. Chocolate is cure for the effects of dementors. Dementors are the most evilest things on earth. They are the evil creatures who can suck out life out of human beings. Suck out joy, happiness, and warmth. We all know this. If you're a Harry Potter fan, you will never look at chocolate the same way ever again. It'll change you forever. Have a piece of chocolate. That's a fan look. Fandom, Harry Potter fandom is one of the biggest fandoms on earth. Harry Potter book series have been sold something between 400 and 450 million copies in the world. It's by far the biggest selling book series ever in the history of humankind. The last, till now, Harry Potter book, which is basically the Deathly Hallows, that came out 2007, sold a staggering 50 million copies in the first 24 hours when it came out. Chinese Harry Potter fans translated this nearly 1,000 pages long book into Mandarin in 7 days. They divided into groups of 20, and every group of 20 would take a little tiny bit, and Bob's your uncle. It doesn't take that long to do it. No commercial actor, no commercial organization in the world could do this in 7 days with no cost. Fandom is the single most productive, quickest way to organize activity. It doesn't matter what we say in a business school. Never forget this. There's always fan look. Fan look has now become a prominent way to look at media contents. Alternative readings is part of fan look, in the sense of not just looking at chocolate, but it's just what it means, what all it could mean. It can be reparative readings of media in a sense, oh yeah, there's the strategic message, but basically, what if there's something else? Could I hear something, see something, build something other out of it? It's in the area of dreams. And nowadays, in the digital environments, we share this. For example, did you know that many Native American Western film fans, well, it does sound a bit odd combination, doesn't it? But they mainly look at the very beginning of Western films. Remember the ones, John Wayne films, where there's only, a Native American Indians, powerful, riding on their wild horses in the vast plains of America. Right. And they leave it to that. They don't look at the rest of the film. You see? It's a reparative reading. It's fantastic. Native Americans look great in the beginning of the Western film, not towards the end of it, so we'll just leave it out. So it can be different. You can interpret things differently. And this is a very important thing. Hashtag. Hashtag is a telltale sign of fan look. You follow in Twitter feed, for example, hashtag particular media content that you're interested in and the different alternative ways of looking at this particular thing. Now it's available to us. It used to be something that only fans share. Fandom is fan base or fan community. There are as many motivational reasons why someone would be really emotionally intrigued, interested about something or someone or follow something or just something makes you tick. It is your business and we shouldn't go into your heads. Enjoy it. But what we do as a community, what we share, there's nothing more fun than actually sharing your fandom, your geekness with someone who feels the same way and gets energized, and we can get other people to join us. And that's what we call fan base, a fandom, a networked form of fan activity. Until 1950s, the word comes from fanatic and fancy, someone who fancies. And fanatic, ooh, something slightly dangerous. So fanatic was considered as a pathology, meaning, ooh, there's something wrong with you when you are almost too interested in something and following something. Basically, come 1960s and the Beatles, and the pop culture researchers realized, they were very worried about young people fainting and screaming. So there's got to be something wrong, or something very juvenile or stupid or infantile, in a sense of, oh, there's no criticism. These people just follow anything. Well, basically in the 70s and 80s and come 90s, the cultural studies showed that fandom is a main form of critical engagement with media contents. We think through, we don't accept everything that's given to us. Carolina this morning told us how incredibly difficult for her it was to change because fans thought, you shouldn't. Fans can be really demanding, and it's not an easy relationship. It's a critical relationship. But at the same time, she was telling us a story of how great it is to engage with the audience, with the active audience, when you can get energy out of sharing and being together. You can see that in her performance. There's a really great thing going on between her and her audience. So we could see the both sides of fandom, the power, but also the critical engagement. Fan organization is something that I've been studying since 2002. It has changed everything in my life. Now, basically, it wasn't, most of my colleagues thought I was just completely gone bonkers and mad. Since, honestly, business studies, it's not about fandom. It's about, business proper. So basically, I was like, wow, how could you ever be interested? I said, look, this is changing everything we know about media. Right, nobody believed me then. Well, come March 2010, since March 2010, Facebook has been the single largest media continuously in the world. You can imagine, in March 2010, well, my phone started ringing at that point. So there was a lonely 8 years of actually studying fan organization, a lot of time to change my life completely and learn an awful lot. I'm ever so grateful for those 8 years in my life. Basically, what I learned about fan organization is that there are three things that we see in the digital era or in digital spaces. This fandom is now very much supported by the digital spaces. First of all, most fan organization is driven by future mission. Fans want to be future something. Look at Mozilla. Mozilla is one of the biggest online open source movements, Mozilla, more than 20,000 people actively involved. They want to be the future of internet. If you think at Wikipedia, they want to be the future of knowledge sharing. If you look at Creative Commons, they want to be the future of publishing. If you look at WikiLeaks, well, it certainly has been the future of journalism in an awful lot of ways. There was countless examples of this. There's always a future mission. People even want to be the future's opera now, if you look at Opera by You community. The other thing that seems to be common is mass collaboration. People working together, small cells getting together, networking and working together. And what is really a big move, and this is something we've seen over the last 5-6 years or so, is disruptive market behavior. That means we don't only want to be the future, we want to do things differently. We want to change the rules. Now that's the thing that got all the industry shaking, many industries shaking. Media industry has changed completely. Retailing, for example, is in the middle of this huge big change. 3 things. Future mission, mass collaboration, and aiming basically for disruptive market behavior. It's good to remember. That's what I've learned when I was there alone. Fan markets. I wanted to bring this topic with the fact that fans are not changing only the way things are done and everything that we experience. First of all, the fan look is now the prominent way to engage with media. We share. We don't care about the broadcaster any longer. We share. I want to see how you see things. And I find that invigorating and interesting. Basically, what we also see is the way of organizing differently. But now we see something bigger happening. We see changes happening in some of the most conservative areas. Financing. Well, financing is it's got to be one of the most conservative and slowest moving areas. Basically, if you look at what's happening there in the fan crowdsourcing area, Kickstarter was started 2009. 2009, that's only 5 years ago. Within the Kickstarter is a US-based platform in internet where you can collect financing from fans and active audiences for your creative projects or your science and innovation projects. Within the first 3 years of its operation, 3.5 years of its operation, it had collected $390 million US, got financing for 32,000 projects out of 70,000, and basically collected 3 million small fan active audience finances for these projects. In comparison, if you look at the total grants to arts and creative fields in the United States at the same time, the amount is about just under $150 million per year. Kickstarter and Indiegogo and many other of this kind of financing instruments and platforms have changed completely the financial markets as we know it. Now, think about it. Manchester United, they got 659 million. Let me repeat that. 659 million fans around the world. Imagine if they started to ask 50 öre per fan. You know, we would like to do something awesome Do you want to be with us? It would change so many things we can't even begin to think about it. Fans could change and will change so many things for the future. But so, what can we do? And what can we learn from this? It's really simple. This is a time of change in history. Lots of people, lots of organizations will, unfortunately, stay in history. Fan organization and fans is always about future. Want to join making the future? What's future do you want to be? Now that's the question. That means if you follow it, you'll join the fans. Thanks.